Así que le damos la bienvenida de esta manera a Masha Ibeschitz, fundadora CEO de Think Beyond Group. Bienvenida, Masha Afiat.
Hello, can you see me and can you hear me? Yes, okay, wonderful. So, welcome everybody, and let me start with some facts. Only 1 out of 6 participants in the training applies what they have learned. 4 of 6 give it a try, but do not follow through. And 1 will not even start. That is what Robert Brinkerhoff found out in his study. Why is that? Because many trainings still do not focus on how to transfer learning into real life. But if we focus on transfer effectiveness, we can reach this result. Up to 5 out of 6 participants will apply learnings in a sustainable way. In the next 20 minutes, I will share a scientifically proven approach how to move from this effectiveness of your learning events to that effectiveness of your learning events. And this approach are the 12 levers of transfer effectiveness by Dr. Ina Weinbauer. My name is Masha Ibeschitz. For more than 20 years, I am working globally in the field of learning and development, being always driven by making an impact. I am the founder of the Think Beyond Group, an international collective that serves organizations on leadership development, and I am the co-author of What Makes Trainings Really Work. Ina Weinbauer invited me to enrich her science with my practically proven tools. And out of this collaboration with Ina, I will share with you the powerful 12 levers of transfer effectiveness and why so many people around the globe are passionate about it. A bit more precisely, after this 20-minute session, 3 things should have happened. First, you should know more about the research on what makes training really work and the 12 levers to manage transfer effectiveness. Second, you should have received at least 2 practical tools to promote transfer. You can also download them via QR code, and you will find the QR code on our slides. After these 20 minutes, you should also know exactly what you are going to do next to further increase the positive impact of your learning and development events. So let's go. But before we dive into the topic, I would love to learn a bit more about you. And therefore, I have prepared a question for you, which we will work on by using Mentimeter. May I ask you to go with your phone on Mentimeter and answer the question? Because the question is, cross your heart. How well is your organization doing in terms of training transfer? Do you say we achieve results that are both measurable and sustainable? Or do you say, I think there is still some improvement potential? Or do you say transfer is clearly our weak spot? So let me come a little bit closer and let me check, yeah? How do your answers look like? Okay, we see the first answers entering, right? Okay, great. Some people say, okay, everything's fine, yeah? We see other answers coming. And we thank you also for your honesty, because we ask this question around the globe several times. And if you feel like answer 2 or answer B and C are more relevant for you, then I think you're in good company, because transfer is still a topic to be developed. So let me go back. And also Dr. Ina Weinbauer was facing this situation when she learned about the Brinkerhoff study. In her case, she decided to find out what it takes to make trainings effective. Her plan was to find the holy grail of transfer effectiveness. However, she quickly realized that she wasn't the only one. As you can see here on that slide, transfer researchers are at work already for more than 100 years, and they found more than 100 determinants. So if you look at that slide, that's already a lot, right? Actually, too much to really apply. And some of these elements are great for scientists, but not of much practical help. So let me give you an example. Let's take one of the factors from the trainee area. Yeah, the factor cognitive abilities. So basically, intelligence. Researchers have found that intelligent people transfer more than others. So what could we apply from that? Should we send participants to an intelligence test before each training to decide if they should attend or not? That would be strange, right? So here's what was done to come to an effective approach. Dr. Weinbauer dropped all the factors that cannot or hardly be influenced or controlled by HRD professionals. And guess what? This is how we ended up with only 12 levers. And they are called levers because each of them creates a leverage effect that helps to maximize the impact of people development measures. Here they are, as you can see. In order to create the biggest impact on the transfer effectiveness in people development, we find 3 relevant areas: trainees, training design, and the organization, meaning the environment in which people development is provided. Some of the levers might look familiar to you. Others might sound new to you. For now, let me share one lever that is addressed very often around the globe, and it's called support from supervisors. So, if you are here in the role as a leader who wants to support his team's development in order to enhance your organization's success, this is especially for you. If you enjoy other roles on transfer effectiveness and you know some of those supervisors who should listen closely. Maybe you want to share some of the contents that I share with you later. So let's have a look on a study. In this study, they took a closer look to a no improvement group, a group in which nothing had changed following the leadership development program in this organization. They compared it with a high improvement group of the same leadership program that had made big changes in performance, such as their processing speed, sales, cycle times, and so on. Now, I'd just like to show you the 3 biggest differences between the 2 groups. Just remember, they were attending the exactly same development program. So, the first difference is supervisor support. The high improvement group had significantly more frequent one-on-one meetings between the trainee and the supervisor, where they discussed how their trainee could best apply what he has learned in the program. The second big difference was, guess what? Supervisor support. In the high improvement group, the trainees said that their supervisor has the attitude that training has a positive impact and is important and valuable. And the third big difference, make an educated guess. Supervisor support. In the high improvement group, many of the people involved said that their supervisor actively recognizes and rewards their improvement. So, supervisor support is nearly always among the top reasons for success or failure. So, how can we ensure that supervisors support, promote, and demand the application of what trainees have learned? First, dear leaders out there, understand and respect. You are important. You have an impact. No matter if you've been aware of it or not, when it comes to development, you had an influence. for the good or for the bad. Second, when do leaders get involved? When it's made easy for them. How can we do that? We can offer them tools and measures that are easy to use and that are seen by the leaders as something supporting instead of time-consuming additional work. So small steps, easy interventions guide here the way. Instead of a pre-training meeting with a time-consuming form to fill in, just have a coffee to go with your employee before the training. I also remember this one program that we delivered at some place on this planet, let's put it that way. Back then, the leaders of this organization were, let's say, very much at the beginning of their willingness to support transfer. And the HRD told us that it is not likely that the leaders would really be accountable to invite their team members who should attend the program to such a conversation. So there we had to do another step to encourage all stakeholders. When we did the kickoff with the participants, we told them that it was their proactive task to address and invite their leaders for a quick coffee conversation using the questions you see on the slide. You see here two very simple checklists with only a few questions that you can go through together with your team member. These checklists are also available for you in the download section. Make it easy. Doing a small thing like this is already highly effective. Studies show that even a 15-minute conversation like this significantly increases transfer success. Never mind if it is triggered by the leader or the participant. And third, supervisors deserve to understand what's in it for me. What benefit or payoff do I get as a manager if I support transfer? To start this journey and help the leaders to commit, we developed another tool, which I will share with you now. It is what we call the self-check for managers. It helps leaders to reflect if they already get the maximum out of the trainings their team members attend. It is a self-reflection and done voluntarily by the leaders. Just a 5-minute action, not more. So going through this self-check, leaders reflect about items like, I have communicated very clearly that I consider this training useful and meaningful and that it is important he or she attends. Please rate yourself on a scale from absolutely yes to absolutely no. As many people do, also leaders love scoring. So by the end of the self-check, you get a score that gives you feedback on how well do you as a leader already make use out of the training program as a leader. Here is what the leaders learn about themselves. When you rate below 35 points, it says, with your managerial approach, you risk wasting both your team members' time and your organization's money. I mean, that's quite tough, right? On the other hand, if you score very high, it says, you are a true role model when it comes to getting the most out of a training for the organization, your team, and the attendee. With that tool, I also remember a quite exciting experience with one of our customers. I've already been surprised a number of times by how effective this simple self-check is. For instance, we had participants from a manufacturing industry in Latin America who've told us, our manager didn't just do the self-check for himself, he suddenly brought it along to the pre-training meeting and asked us as employees how we rated him on these criteria. He wanted our feedback, which was absolutely amazing. One of our customers even used this self-check to show young talents how seriously they take development. So we invite you to make up your mind if there are some gold nuggets you want to take with you. But let's have another look on another lever. A goal without a plan is just a wish. That's what Antoine de Saint-Exupéry said. Therefore, let's have a short look on the lever of transfer planning. When it comes to the end of a great training program, trainees typically look like this guy, right? You might have seen this guy. He leaves the training with a big backpack full of the great stuff he learned in this learning event. And what might be his feelings or thoughts? Something like, I need to review all the stuff from training again and think about where and how I can apply these things. Unfortunately, we know that this is going to happen, right? Why? Because for most people, there is no time for it. So what we need to do is the following. We need trainees who leave the room with a lightweight backpack that only contains the necessary information and some concrete, finished plan of how to apply it. The question is, how can we pack the backpack in a transfer-friendly way? Research gives us a clear and convincing answer to that. So let's take one more trip to the field of research. This time, sports research, and to a study with people who tried to do more sports. The researchers randomly assigned 248 adults to one of three groups, right? Every group got a special intervention. But here are first the results. So, in group 1, 38% exercise. In group 2, 35%. But in group 3, an incredible 91% of the participants did. What did they give them that makes such a big difference? You will be amazed on how easy and simple the secret is. So let's have a look. So group 1 was the control group. They got to read an unrelated text. Group 2 was the motivation group. They got information on the benefits of exercising. As you can see, this motivational information did not have so much effect either. But what was the task for group number 3, who exercised nearly 3 times as often as the other groups? It is so easy and trivial. They were simply asked to complete one single sentence, which was, during the next week, I will do at least 20 minutes of vigorous exercise on Monday at 5 p.m. at the gym. Sentences like this are called implementation intentions or mini plans. Simply formulating an intention nearly triples the chances to really doing it. Whatever we want to do or apply, if we formulate an intention like I will do these 20 minutes, yabba yabba yabba, it helps, it nearly triples the probability that you really will do it. Scientists even call those mini plans baby steps. And that also applies for our training participants. If we want them to apply what they have learned in training, we need to make sure that they make an action plan and formulate concrete intentions. So, to maximize the lever of transfer planning, we suggest 3 steps. First, reserve 10 to 20% of each learning event for transfer planning. Do not only plan objectives, but also specific actions. And third, use baby steps. Make it easy and effective. And maybe your next step is to visit the download area to get the tools and the transfer postcard, which summarizes the 12 levers of transfer effectiveness I shared with you just now. You also find there how you can connect with us here in Latin America as your transfer coaches to overcome your specific roadblocks as you deploy this tool in your institutions or organizations. In Latin America, Nereo Rivera and Gia Elena Gutierrez are your transfer coaches. If you need immediate support with this, or you want to get certified as a transfer coach or designer yourself. In case you feel like, hey, Masha, I'm stuck, can you help me out? Or hey, Masha, I tried something and guess what? This turned out greatly. Just drop a note on LinkedIn or email. We are transfer enthusiasts and we love to learn. We love to learn, hear, and share your stories and develop together with you. And if you're curious to learn more how things work out in real life, join tomorrow my colleague Gia Elena Gutierrez at June 9th, 5:40 p.m. on a case study with our dear customer, Gebauer and Griller. And until then, let's make transfer effectiveness easy because it rocks. Thank you very much.
Muchísimas gracias, Masha. Thank you, increíble, cuánta pasión. Muchas gracias por compartir esa experiencia. Un placer escucharte.